Hi, it's Timothy Hyde here from expertmc.com with a very short news update and also 4 ideas that you can use immediately in your MC business. Firstly, I must apologize, I haven't produced one of these videos for some time. I've had a cracking year, very busy, but I've finished now. I'm at home in the Blue Mountains, so you might be able to hear the birds calling in the background. It's a lovely sunny day, but I've got a few weeks at home before I start again in late January, early February, back to work. So also a big welcome to the people who've just subscribed to the channel and or the newsletter. So 4 ideas for you that you can use immediately in your MC work. Idea number 1, use Siri. Now, I know that probably half of you out there have got an iPhone or some sort of smartphone. For Android users, there are several apps that do exactly the same thing as Siri. But at a conference I did late last year, the client came up to me and said, Timothy, is there some way of having a fun way of choosing one of the guests for a lucky door prize? And I said, do you have the names in a spreadsheet? Yes, they did. So they were all numbered. And then I just asked Siri to choose one of the numbers. So I think there was 135 guests and they were all numbered. So I said to Siri, choose a number between 1 and 135. Siri chose a number. That person won the prize. But you can use Siri to make all sorts of decisions. Roll a dice, pick a playing card, etc. So if you're facilitating or you need to choose a table in your group or left or right, etc., you can use Siri, and it just gives a nice little extra element and shows that you are up to speed. So use Siri when you can. Idea number 2, the quick pitch. You know, most people who go to an event or a conference are there to meet other people, explain what they do and make connections. It's why most people go to conferences, to learn about what other people are doing, to share opportunities and challenges. Our job as an MC is to facilitate that. So if any time you get somebody up on stage, maybe to thank somebody or to give them a prize, e.g. you've just done the Siri thing, you've got the person up to give them the prize, give that person a moment to explain what they do. Ask them where they're from. They're probably wearing a name badge. So ask them where they're from. Oh, what does Acme Pumps actually do? And give them the microphone for 30 seconds so they can make a quick little pitch. And they will really appreciate that. They won't have had a chance probably to meet everybody at the event. So just that 30 seconds of that person in the spotlight, that may be much more valuable to that person, to that delegate, than the prize that they might have just won as a lucky door prize. So I call it the quick pitch, or it's like an elevator speech. Keep it tight, say in 30 seconds, what do you guys do? And off they go. So that's number 2, the quick pitch. Idea number 3. This is a short framework for introducing people, and I find it is very useful if you are introducing, say, a sponsor or a exhibitor up onto the stage during an event. These people are probably not doing a whole keynote presentation. You perhaps don't even have much of a bio for them. But this framework works rather well in this situation. I have another framework which you probably recall in one of the earlier videos about introducing people, and it's also in the Expert MC Toolkit and Resource Manual that you can get from the website. But this simplifies it down. It's very useful in that particular situation, which often occurs. And that is this: what, who, why. What, who, why. So, for instance, if you're introducing Fred Bloggs from Acme Software, you might say, we've got a few minutes up our sleeve. I would like to introduce you to Fred Bloggs from Acme Software. Let's find out what Acme Software actually does, who are some of the users of Acme Software, and why you guys should find out more about it. Please welcome Fred Bloggs. So, what it is, who uses it, and why. What are some of the benefits and why should the audience connect with it? It's a very useful little framework, and I'm sure you can use it too. Idea number 4 to wrap us up is a phrase I've been using, or a question I've been using a lot in panel discussions and also thanking speakers. if there's a bit of time, if you're going into Q&A and you want to ask one question and you don't have anything more specific, and I ask them, if I made you minister for the day, what would you do? So if they were Minister for Health or Minister for Education or Minister for Transport, etc., in your political framework, it might be more appropriate to say the Governor or the President or the CEO or the Lord Mayor, for instance. But if you were the person in power, so if you were Minister for the day, what would you do? And the Speaker can handle the question in many different ways. Some of them will give you a funny answer or a precise answer or a callback to something they've said during the presentation. But either way, it works really nicely and it fits in almost any situation. So if I made you minister for the day, what would you do? So please use that one. In fact, use all of the ideas we've had. Use Siri, use the little pitch or elevator speech if you're getting anyone up on stage. How to frame that framework for a sponsor, and if I made you minister for the day. Well, that's it for this video, but hey, wait, before you go, in the next video coming up, I'm going to explain this. Speed networking. I do this at a lot of conferences and events. It really builds up the energy in the room and it connects the delegates to each other really well, and the delegates love it. So I'm going to explain the steps about doing it and doing it well, because there are some things that you can really muck up when you try and do this. So I'm going to explain exactly how to do speed networking and do it well. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any coming up in the future, and come and visit us on the website and subscribe to the newsletter there as well. We've got lots of exciting things coming up in the new year, so we'd like to have you on board with us. See you in a couple of weeks. My name's Timothy I from expertmc.com.